We are now an hour into the trading of the day and we're looking at an increase in price of about 0.5%. If we round it down, we can see of course we're not moving very much. Now that is also something similar to what we saw yesterday, but with it being so early in the day, I want to give you guys a first update on what we are seeing with AMC and also what we're expecting for the day. Now before we do jump in, as always, this is only my personal opinion. It's not financial advice. You should not follow it as 100% fact, as it is only my personal thoughts and opinions based on what I am seeing. You may have a different opinion, and that is completely fine. But if you do agree with what I see, then of course you can give a like and subscribe, because we make content like this, covering the DD, covering the share price, etc. on a daily basis, multiple times. So, you know, one of the videos at least per day is going to be something which you are into, so do subscribe if you can. But now we're going to dive in and we're going to have a look. So where I want to start off really is coming from Reddit. Now we're coming from this update from DJ Ruckus, as we have looked at before, JD Ruckus, and it says it's an update for the Ortex figures for this morning, 1 hour ago. It says the short interest likely to see 21% at some point today. Shares on loan may be at an all-time high, and we know they are all shorted anyway. DTC, so days to cover, is nearing an all-time high. The current mood: bet the exchange reported SI will be bullish today. So let's have a look at the figures. They have been highlighted by him kindly. Going to bring them up quickly, and we have this one to look at first, and we're seeing some big changes here. So the exchange reported short interest is a decrease of 0.02%. No, sorry, 2.02%. The estimated short interest of free float is a change of plus 3.13%. The percentage of free float on loan, change of 3.18%. The shares on loan is a change of plus 3.16%, the days to cover is a change of 0.89%, and the cost to borrow is a change of plus 4.32%, with the utilisation being down by 2.75. So that's the figures that we're seeing from this sheet, and of course we do still have one more to look at, which is this. Now this is the generalised figures we can see. The estimated short interest change is plus 0.33, so it is an increase. Again, it's coming up now on 21% of the free float almost. And we can see the estimated short interest is set at about 106.82 million, so nearing 107 million right there. The return shares is about 100k, just under. The borrowed shares though is almost 500k, and we can see the change in there is about 382k. The cost to borrow minimum that we're seeing is about 0.5%, the cost to borrow average 1.2, and the cost to borrow maximum is up at 1.47. So there's the figures for today, if you were wondering what we're seeing as far as the costs and that sort of thing. But that is of course only half of the story. We can then read that into how it's going to kind of influence the price potentially throughout the day. And, you know, with so many shares out there to potentially short, and with utilisation being so high, I think we are now nearing a very interesting position. I think we are still in a place where AMC could be dropping more. Now, as I have said, actually throughout yesterday and into today as well, we're not really seeing much action at all. You can see the 25th into the 26th, and really, we've not been seeing much movement. We are now consolidating nicely, which is good, but I'm not too certain as to how long it will last. Now, as I have said before, with AMC, I think generally the way they try and do it is to make this follow the markets, because that way it's more believable. You know, if people are continuing to hold, of course we all know what's going on, but if they can make it follow the pattern of the market and make it believable, that's what I believe they're going to try and do. So when we're tying that back into the generalised market conditions and what we would subsequently be expecting with AMC, you know, the markets are up today. We're not seeing big gains, but yes, the prices are doing this. Just to paraphrase, of course, up, down, up, down. Up, down. That's the Nasdaq, the Dow, the S&P, and the Russell. They're all doing this pattern, with the Russell kind of behind us, going more up than the rest. But yeah, they are starting to drop now, so you get the pattern up, down. Look at AMC, we're seeing that up, down. But the amount of change that we're seeing is an increase of 0.59%. Now, even things like the S&P are up by 1, even the Dow is up by 0.55. As I have said before, you know, we would expect a stock to kind of move more, whether it's to the upside or downside, than the generalized index. And the simple reason for that is because the indices and the indexes, if you will, are comprised of multiple different stocks. Some of them are going to be moving up big, some of them are going to be moving down big, and that gives us an average figure, which is a total move for the index over time. So whilst a 0.5% move that we're seeing today with AMC may align itself with the markets perfectly, I think the actual stock would be up or down more than that, because again, it is only one of many in the index, so it shouldn't really be be following the pattern exactly. But this is a trend that we've been seeing for a long time, right? Just go out to the past 6 months and we'll actually bring up the technical chart and it comes very, very clear. We've had green days in the market, we've had red days in the market, but scroll down and we're seeing one trend is apparent. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and really what we're seeing now is we're seeing AMC goes down bad on the red days. When there's bad news in the markets or when the stock's not doing so well for whatever reason, it drops big. But when there's good news, it doesn't really tend to move by very much. I mean, I think this is just a big sign of what we already knew, but obviously, like I said, they are going to do their best to try and make it look believable and make it look like AMC is dropping on its own merit or lack thereof. But in actuality, you know, the company isn't doing too bad. It's doing better than it has been for a very long time. So I think what it's going to be is, even while the markets are green right now, AMC is probably going to follow that pattern. I don't think it's going to be too long though until we see it start to drop again. And even if the markets do remain green for the rest of the day, which of course is uncertain, I don't think it's going to be a big deal for AMC at all, even if we have a good green day today. Because usually, like I'm saying, it's not allowed to run by very much to the upside, and it does come dropping back down on the downside. And the advantage of that to the people who may be manipulating the price, or the bears on the stock, let's say, at the very minimum, they can say, okay, a bull market can't bring this thing up, but guess what, a bear market can take it down even further. So clearly it's falling on its own merit, because even on a green day like today, it can't rise by very much, but on a bad day when people are fearful, AMC is going to be the biggest one to drop, and they're going to tie that back in and say that apes are emotionally weak and they don't want to hold through all of this turmoil that we're seeing, both with the stock and the certainty of the MOAS, and also on top of that with the wider market conditions. So be careful out there, guys. I am not expecting too much today. My personal anticipation is that it's going to be a relatively flat day. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. Again, it could be worse. That's just what I'm expecting. You may have a different opinion, of course. This is just what I believe, but I did want to give you guys my morning update, so thank you, and I'll be back to see you in a bit. So thank you for watching through till the end, but let me tell you about our Discord. So on your screen you will be seeing the N2S Finance Discord. Obviously it is split into multiple sections. Basically at the top we have updates from me and all that kind of good stuff. If you scroll down a bit further we have the main sections where we focus on cryptos, SPACs and other hot stocks including penny stocks, even stable growth stocks as well, and we even have a special AMC GME chat. If you scroll down you can see some research and DD from the community. We also have funny memes and you can see actual contributions from members down here. And again, if you do join us, it is completely free, link is down below. But if you do want to become a Patreon, you will actually get a pink sticker which will be displayed on your name. So your name will come up in pink as mine comes up in red down here, and that will show that you are a Patreon. But other than that, guys, you can join completely for free down below. You do not have to pay anything if you do not want to. Thank you for watching, see you soon.